Greetings. May peace be with you all. For if you have ears to hear, let you hear. Eyes to see, let you see. I am Ramblings of Seven. Although I haven't been on for a while, I have greatly moved in many ways, transcending many layers, dimensionalities, cycles being processed, dark night of the soul, all the great ascension stuff that everybody who is on this frequency is either experiencing or has experienced. And I tell you what, this has been one heck of a ride. How are you guys? I hope everybody's doing good. Sorry I haven't posted for a while. I think I'm gonna take from another video and start recording mostly nothing, because if you have ears to hear, then you will hear, and if you were led to this video, then you were led here for a reason. Although this one's going to be mostly ramblings, because I am Ramblings of Seven. To recap, I am Ramblings of Seven. I am a consciousness collective of 7 consciousnesses, all in representation of the different aspects of self that was can't think of the word, distributed between all the energy centers, not just the primary 7 that we have, because these consciousnesses much go past that. Although the primary consciousness that I have an aspectual awareness of would be Collaction, my reptilian, reptilian's almost like disgraceful to us. It's draconian, much to the degree of the Anunnaki, which is interesting because, a lot of humans, being human, I'd rather not, put myself up there like, oh, shit, I'm part of this or tied into that, blah, blah, blah. But this is the reality of it. My core self is draconian, and, I've done a lot of processing from that lifetime, that Akash. But what I've come to understand is that all of the processing that we do has direct relation to what we're doing right now. Everything that we are going to remember, everything that we access, everything that we talk about, everything that we explore is just what we need at the right time. What we need at the right time is sitting right in front of you. We must understand that we all have, guys, we all have direction within ourselves, that intuitive little voice that's always speaking up, telling you, hey, don't do that. Hey, don't do that. Hey, that might not be a good idea. Hey, that's a good idea. Let's go this way. Start listening to it. That's the voice that is telling you the right way to go. Yeah, sometimes it's not the most comfortable way, but it is the right way. It is what is going to move you into a dimension of reality that you want. Not what you think you want. Not all this instantaneous happiness and all that bullshit. Although, if you live in a frequency of abundance and a frequency of wealth and understand that you are worthy, then all these things flow to you. Even if you do have a state of lack, even if you do have a lack mentality in some sort of way, the process that is happening is so accelerated. There's so much momentum going into this that eventually it's going to be rolling down the hill and you're just going to be letting go of all the stuff that you don't need. Tell you what, that's what I'm doing right now. I've been fighting 3D physical addiction forever, and it's finally seeming like it's starting to take a back seat to everything else. Nicotine is one hell of a battle, and it's also partly me, of course, digging my heels in. No, I don't want to let go of this yet. I'm not ready to let this go. But guess what? It'll be pried from your cold fingers as you're sitting there trying to vibrate in a lower dimension. And that's not the direction we're going. We're moving up. I'm sorry, you guys. I love this ramblings of 7, always talking about whatever comes to mind. And sometimes it's guided, sometimes it's in a direction, sometimes it's just rambling, getting what's on my mind off. I wish I could just ramble to somebody. I wish I could just talk to people that have the same mind, that had the same understanding. I wish I could collaborate. Collaborate. Haha, it's funny. I don't want to collaborate with nobody. My dimension that I exist in is one that I am creating, and it is perfect for me. We don't need to collaborate. We're collaborating right now. I'm collaborating with you right now, and you're collaborating with me because we are on the same frequency, same vibrational frame rate as the other. That is why I am making this video. This is why you turn to this video. It's because we're on the same frequency at this moment. Understand, this is a up and down. I'm moving into my self more. I'm learning to act from self rather than act from ego. I'm learning to accept the things that aren't and accept the things that are and be okay with all of it. Because I am manifesting the highest dimensional reality that I can for myself. Spreading my light, I'm anchoring, I'm grounding, I'm sharing, I'm doing what I need to do for me. And you need to do what you need to do for you. We're not here for anybody else. Truly and honestly, we are not here for anybody else except for us. I don't care if you have a twin flame. I don't care if you have divine influence by this or that. We are not separate in the least, for we are all, and all is us. But we must realize that if we do not focus on ourself, if we do not fix self, fix the balance, the grounding, and the self-integrity that we have within ourselves, if we don't get this the way that it should be, then we're just repeating cycles. We're just continuing the same stuff. If you don't take yourself out of your comfort zone, then you're not going to learn. If you don't put yourself in a situation where something has to change, then nothing's going to change. You know, there's a lot of things that I do more intuitively now than I've ever done before. I've not acted purely on intuition based on an understanding that I have some premise of. I don't need all the answers. I don't need all the codes and all the right ways of doing things. I don't need all the direction in the world. Like ramblings of 7, we're everywhere. I need the intuition that I have inside that guides me in the direction that I need to go for myself. And I don't need to make anybody else happy. I don't need to please anybody else by my actions. I don't need to do anything outside of self and what self wills to do, what is intuitively guided by self. Now understand that all actions are guided by self. Self is in everything that we do. It is just the context of vibration that determines the outcome, that determines what we are seeking in that moment. So if you are guided to learn something new and you completely deny or restrict that learning, then how will you move forward? How will you advance if you have so much resistance towards something that you're holding on to so tightly? We cannot have resistance to things like this. If we have resistance and we dig our heels in, then we're not going to get anywhere. And we're not going to grow, and we're not going to succeed, and we're not going to overcome. Now understand, resistance is good. Resistance is a little pushback that helps you to grow a little bit more. But when you are the tailor of that resistance, when you are the one that's deciding, I am not going to do this, I'm not going to commit, I'm not going to follow, I'm not going to be guided, be led, I'm going to do it my way, then I know we're in for a bumpy road. Doing it your way is what we've been doing, right? We've all been doing it our way for so long. And Gaia and Ra, all these deities, all these beings, all these wonderful consciousnesses that surround us, they never abandon us. They never turn their back. 144, I love it. Oh, they never turned their back. They never said, no, you wanted to take the hard road, so you're on your own. We are guided constantly in everything that we do, but everything that we do, we must do for us. If we're not complete in self, then we cannot help anybody else complete self. If we do not love ourselves, then how can we love anybody else? I tell you that everything that we do, we need to do in ourselves, not because I'm selfish, not because of my narcissistic egoism. I'm saying that because how can a broken anything fix anything else? If you're not completely confident, not completely even, not as completely confident as you feel you need to be. We all know. When you want to go talk to somebody else or guide someone else or lead someone else or direct, and we're not in that place, we may have the best advice in the world, answer to every single one of their problems. But 9 times out of 10, we're not trying to answer or fix their problems. We're reflecting what our solution is. Often the problems that people have around us are problems that we're having within ourselves because we reflect the vibrational reality that we portray. So if you portray that you are stuck and that you need guidance and that nothing's going right and, all these negative connotations, then that's what you're going to attract. And look at the people around you. If you got people around you. Me personally, I go to work. I come home, I visit my brother every once in a while. My little brother, actually found out last night, it's because it's healing my inner child, because I didn't have siblings. I mean, I have siblings, but growing up I wasn't allowed that. I wasn't allowed to have the family feeling and trust and believe and know that there are other people that love you. So, working on my inner child here. Little glean into the ramblings of 7. So, understand everybody around you reflects the exact frequency that you are putting off. And I mean to every degree. If you are... I've listened to a lot of astrologers lately. So let's say an astrologer. Let's take someone who's in their purpose and they're sending out a message, hey, I can do your readings, okay? They're going to attract people that want readings done. They're going to attract people that are of the same vibration as them. If they are vibrationally confident and strong and capable and willing and in their power, then they're going to attract people who are either that, either just before that, or within that. Like, it is all... The frequency that we attract is the frequency that is nearest to our vibration. And as long as we continue to be seated in our vibration and reflect on the vibration that we're putting out in every moment and know that this is our vibration and this is the vibration we're also attracting, then we're more apt to raise our vibrational set frequency and create a reality that we're more apt to resonate in. It's just a little bit of momentum. It's all it takes. You get something going just a little bit, start pushing it down the hill. No matter how many flat spots and how much you got to push a little bit more, eventually it's just going to take off. And if we keep pushing something in the right direction, eventually it's going to take off. And when it takes off, all that extra baggage, all that extra stuff that you don't have tied down, that you don't have a good hold on, the things that you need to let go of, they're going to be gone. They're going to be taken away in the blink of an eye. And half the time you're not even going to realize they're gone until they're long, long gone. And that's good. There are cycles that we need to break. There are processes that we need to process. And there are representations of consciousness frequency that we need to dissolve. There are tools that come into our lives at different points for different reasons, but those tools eventually dissolve. Nothing is absolute. Nothing is constant except for self. Everything else is changing. Everything is changing. Self is changing. We're constantly evolving, moving. The Fibonacci sequence, wavelengths, all the frequency, closer to source, further away from source. It is so wonderful what we can create. Just have to have the will to do it. Just have to have that focus, that vibration, that everything. You have to be willing to move in the direction that your ego does not want to move. Again, this is Ramblings of 7. I'd like to start doing more videos, more ramblings. It doesn't really matter. I don't care if you listen. I don't care if you don't. If you listen to it, then yeah, no, you're supposed to. If you don't listen to it, well, guess what? It's a black screen with some random guy talking. You guys have a wonderful day. If you have ears to hear, let you hear. If you have eyes to see, let you see. May peace be with you all. This is Ramblings of 7. Blessings be.